Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Warframe. I'm your host of the most, as always, Francois878, and today we're going to be talking about the brand new Cephalon rifle introduced in Update 16.10 called the Simulor. Now, the way to obtain this rifle is the easy way, which is getting it from the marketplace for platinum, or you can get it from Samaris, who is the Cephalon who collects sentient life in the relays. You can get it from him for 75k standing. So it's definitely a pricier gun, and it's interesting to use. Functionally, it's similar to the Quanta and the Quanta Vandal, in that the primary fire shoots a small orb of energy, and the secondary fire detonates it, staggering most enemies, and also dealing AoE damage, which is what the Quanta does not do. It does not stagger. But what's cool about this particular weapon is when you fire another orb close enough to the first orb, they will actually gravitate towards each other and combined, like I just did right there. And as you stack the orbs, it actually deals more damage. And if you can stack up to 5 orbs, you will be able to, it will create a little vortex, similar to Vauban's final ability. It's very low range, but it will suck in ammo and enemies if they're close enough. So it's a very interesting weapon, and it's kind of one of those fun weapons like the Buzzlock. It has a lot of, it's definitely fun to use and fun to get to 30. I did invest 3 Forma into it at this point. This is actually the second round of the tactical alert. So these are level 50 enemies here. So it does decently well in the upwards of level 50 or 60 with the particular build that I'll show you in a few minutes. My big problems with this gun... Well, okay, let me talk about the good things first. The good thing is, even with the single shots, even with the single shots without multi-shot, the gun staggers when you trigger the detonation of the orbs. So it's a pretty decent crowd control weapon. You can just keep people continuously staggered. The AoE damage is pretty good. It's not great, but it's not bad. And if you can get an enemy, like a slower enemy, like a heavy gunner or a bombard, it's very easy to stack a couple of orbs together very quickly and then detonate it. Now the bad things with this weapon are it has magnetic damage as its base. So regardless of whatever you put on the weapon, it will always deal magnetic damage, which can really suck against the Grineer or the corrupted or the infested. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about that. It sucks. But the other thing that sucks is trying to stack the orbs on fast-moving opponents is kind of tricky. I'm definitely not very good at it. I'm much more of the just spam shots and detonate and keep people staggered. When you stack the orbs, it does exponentially increase the damage. Really quick, I'm going to go through the build. It's going to be Grineer, Corpus, Infested, and Corrupted like I normally do. Now the first row is pretty much my normal build. It's heavy caliber, serration, and split chamber. And then I have fast hands on this particular build because the reload on this gun is horrible. For the Grineer here, I have Stormbringer, Thermite rounds, Malignant Force, and Rime rounds. That's just basically what fit in my 3 Forma build, which will give you radiation and viral. Now what you're looking at here is my Corpus build, which is magnetic, which is double magnetic and toxic. That's the best against the Corpus. And then here is against Corrupted. It's still the same except for its corrosive and extra fire damage. Now, I was only able to fit in I actually did not put in a full fast hands on the second 2 builds because they wouldn't allow, because I couldn't get it in with the points. And I don't have a primed fast hands, so if you want a primed fast hands, or if you have one on this particular weapon, you're going to have to Forma it again. But that's one that I don't use reload speed on a whole lot of weapons, so I don't really feel the point in having it. Now, what I was going to say is the biggest problem with this gun is fast-moving enemies. I feel like even with like a fire rate increase on this gun, I don't think you could shoot the orbs out quick enough to really get those stacks that you needed to really be able to to really be able to get those stacks. And even with multi-shot on, I am firing 2 orbs here. It doesn't look like it, because I am only firing 1 orb. It looks like 1 orb. But normally, if you don't have multi-shot on, it takes 5 shots to form a vortex. When you have multi-shot on, it only takes 3, because it, 2, 4, 6. And even with multi-shot on, it takes too long to really get 3 shots out before the enemy has just walked away, because the range on the vortex and the range on the AoE is kind of on the small side. Now, I'm not sure if Firestorm works on this weapon. It's not a launcher; it's a rifle, so I don't know. That would be something for you guys to experiment with. You probably take out fast hands and put on Firestorm, because if you were able to increase the blast radius on this gun, stacks would be a lot easier to maintain. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Like I said, I'm not sure how I really feel about this weapon. It's a very cool looking weapon, I'll give them that. DE does a hell of a job making sweet weapons. The damage on this particular gun, if you want to just go back to the build, is not very good. I think it's around 1600 per shot, but when you stack it, it is exponentially. It's much more. I want to say in that almost 3K. So it's definitely worth stacking the orbs up. But like I said, that magnetic damage and just the sheer speed of some enemies, stacking orbs just isn't really very viable sometimes. But, please leave in the comment section if you guys have used this weapon, if you guys know a trick. I did find that using CC characters like Banshee did help. You can just knock everybody down, and while they're getting up, you can stack it. But if you're using people that aren't good at CC, if you're using frames that aren't good at CC, you don't really have that option. So, but thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Please leave a like and a comment. Tell me what you guys think of the new rifle. I would appreciate it a lot. And I will see you guys in the next video. This has been your host of the most, as always, Francois878.